Hey ladies and gentlemen, my name is Simon here with episode number 40 of Naruto. Looking forward to this one because, as the title suggests and the end of the last episode suggests, we are in for a showdown between Kakashi and Orochimaru. Orochimaru doesn't really need any more introduction than he's already had. He has a reputation that precedes him, and it appears as though there is some history between him and Kakashi. They at least know each other on some kind of a personal level. So it'd be interesting to get into more about how they seemingly know each other. And also, if there is a fight, we've all seen what Kakashi can do, but we've not really had a chance to properly see what Orochimaru can do. It does suggest that Orochimaru is stronger than Kakashi just by their reputations, but you never know. You never know what can happen. Meanwhile, with the exam, we have the preliminaries still going on to try and whittle down these numbers. We did see that Sasuke was able to overcome, his opponents in the end, which it took a lot of doing. I think it was Uroi, who was draining the chakra from Sasuke himself, and he was already in a weakened condition. And it came to a point where he very nearly let the curse mark once again take over, but he was able to defeat him using just, his sheer determination, really. And now we've got a fight between one of the guys from the Sand Village. No, it's the Sound Village, sorry. I forget what his name is. He's the guy who has the thing with bugs. You know who I mean. You've seen this. You know what I'm talking about. There's too many names for me to memorize at the moment, even though I've gotten them written down at points in my book. And it came across like, there was a specific mention of, I would rather not have to fight this guy out of anyone in the tournament. I'd rather not have to fight him. But then he got knocked down within a minute, within 10 seconds of the fight kicking off. So it kind of left me a little bit, confused as to what's going on. But anyway, we're going to jump in. I get a feeling this is going to be an epic episode because whenever you get a showdown between two giants of the ninja world, it's always good. We had Zabuza and Kakashi last time, and this time it's Kakashi and Orochimaru, so I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, let's jump in. Before we do, I want to say a big thank you to my Patreon super supporters: Frank Tremel, Karen Abel, Nick Walters, The Seven Deadly Sins, Damon Smallwood, Michael Y, Clara Gros-Louis, Mr. Greg 89, Tyrone Tyrone, Pobinhas, Matt Okeefe, Olly Brown, and Sam Tahiri. So, without further ado, let's jump in.
I don't believe you had it the last time we met, did you?
Is he talking about his,
Gift. The shotting gun in your left eye.
So that's been a while then since he last saw
It's
him.
only fair that I should want it too.
Yeah, he's fine. And I hear critters.
What?
Oh no, I definitely wouldn't want to fight him. Oh no. There are bugs everywhere. Oh, they've surrounded him. That's creepy. I can't even tell what kind of bugs they are. Are they beetles? Are they spiders? Oh, is this his backstory on how he got with Orochimaru?
Where do you think you're going, you little thief?
Again, a poor kid stealing food to live. You can see why Orochimaru might be in a position to influence him. So he comes in, doesn't save him, but it's going to pick up the pieces. But he managed to hold on to a loaf of bread. Is he coming back to them?
You have potential, boy.
Yeah. He's showing spirit. There he is, looking very clean and masterful. Yeah. You see why it's easy to influence these kids. They're in desperate positions. I know that he can't just give up. Is he gonna use his hands?
You seem to be very proud of these arms of yours.
You feel a lot more human once you see their backstory. He's using both arms. He's pushing through the pain. Oh, God. It's very similar to when he was a kid and he was looking at his hand, you know, making a fist, and this time he's opening it to show strength.
But as for the others, well, you know how it is in the game.
Yeah, he wants Sasuke to be the heir.
Pieces must be sacrificed.
What the hell? What's going on? Oh, the beetles are already on him.
Earlier, while I was distracting you with my helpful advice, I was also sending some of my little friends to plug up those bothersome wind holes.
Very clever.
Both hands.
He can't do anything without his hands. I think this fight is over. He's going to have to give up. Rather than having Orochimaru be there for him, he's come for Sasuke. Let's do this.
You are one of the Sunny, the three shinobi of legend. I swear, take one more step towards Sasuke, and one of us will die here.
I think that's his plan.
A heart like his that hungers for only one thing will not be denied.
Vengeance.
No matter what obstacles you put in his path. He's an avenger, isn't he? Now is your chance. Take it.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
One of us will die here. I must have been out of my mind.
He's like, what the hell was that? Yeah, it seemed like there was something more going on than just the bugs.
I'd say this one has had it.
Or was it because they were clogged?
Shino Aburame.
All of the pressure came out of his arms. Oh god, that must have hurt.
But no, they're actually living inside of him.
Oh!
Inside of him?
What?
There's a legend in the Leaf Village of a clan of insect tamers.
Yes, I've heard
Insect tamers,
They
no.
say that when a bugmaster is born,
At some point early in the match, this guy Shino managed to get his beetle
When he hit him, when he let
the opening.
Saku hit him.
As soon as Zaku tried to use his slicing sound wave, he was doomed. With its usual outlet sealed off,
Yeah.
the energy from the sound wave was trapped in his arm,
Yeah.
expanding.
Oh god.
An exit.
Not a nice way to go out.
I can't pretend we had anything in common.
Yeah? Who died and made you team leader, huh?
All right, everyone. Moving right on to the third match.
Who's next? Is it going to be Naruto?
Kakashi-sensei!
Who's he up against? I'm guessing we're going to start getting through these a little bit quicker now because, well, we've had our main set piece, I guess.
This guy.
I want to see what that thing is on his back. What was he called it?
Funny. I was about to say the same thing.
Oh, no. I'm looking for his name.
Promise it'll be painless.
The Crow. That's what he calls it, the Crow. I want to see what this Crow is. Okay, so very interesting episode. I loved the tactics in this, and I loved the little bit of backstory that we got into Zaku, who, very much like many of, I guess, the kids in this world, is someone who was vulnerable, poor, starving, but showed spirit and determination, and that's why Orochimaru latched onto him and offered him, you know, a way out. And he did. He made him strong. And I liked the kind of symbolism of when he was, after he'd just been beaten up and he was looking at his hands, you know, and he was struggling to sort of close them, you know, in a show of defiance and a show of strength. Then in the fight, you know, he struggled to open them. It was a nice little bit of symbolism to show, you know, when he reached that point of like saying, I've had enough, you've pissed me off, I'm ready to go. You know, you had the closing of the hand at one point when he was younger and the opening of the hand in the fight when he was ready to fight. Unfortunately, and very cleverly, it turns out that Shino had already planted the bugs on his hands. Now, I think he did that when he let Zaku attack him at the very beginning of the fight. You know, it was very purposeful so that he could get close and, without being seen, plant those bugs on and clog the only power that he really has. And we saw the horrible effects of that, where the pressure from the wind surges up his arms and bursts out of the flesh. I mean, that's, you really want to check your pipes are clean before, you know, you do that, and he didn't. And so his arms just, because I was there, I was watching him, and obviously you could see the steam coming out of his hands, the wind. And I was like, what the hell's going on? Is this Orochimaru's doing? Because he was mentioning at that time pawns needed to be sacrificed. And I'm guessing he just knew that without being in that arena, that Zaku was probably going to lose, and he was willing to do that to try and get to Sasuke. Because, you know, Sasuke, as he said, is not just a pawn, he is an heir. That's what he wants. And, you know, it's kind of like, I'm kind of a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to see Kakashi and Orochimaru fight, but I get the feeling that if we had, then we'd have been mourning the loss of Kakashi at this point, because you could tell after the fight, even he was surprised at the balls that he'd showed to stand up to Orochimaru, and he probably realizes that if he had you know, played his bluff, he'd probably be dead right now. I'm glad he's not, though. But I do get the feeling that maybe that is going to be a showdown we're going to get at some point in the future. You know, Kakashi, who for all that we've seen is a super strong Chonin, but we've not really seen really what Orochimaru can do, and from his own reaction, it's kind of like you can tell that Orochimaru would outclass Kakashi. Eventually, it's going to have to come down to Sasuke and Orochimaru being pitted against each other. You know, that's the only reason why he'd want Sasuke as an heir, is if he was someone who could be as powerful as he was. But it's always nice to get a bit of backstory on some of the characters. I would never want to fight Shino. The idea of having the bugs living inside you, and it's not even like they're just on him, they're inside him, and it's like, oh my god, that's awful. I hate bugs, I really do hate bugs. But no, this was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. Enjoying the fights. It's going to be interesting to see who we do whittle down. I've got a feeling that the guy from the Sand Village who has the crow, I'm trying to remember his name. I don't know his name. I get a feeling he'll go through, and the guy who is on Kabuto's team is not gonna do very well, just like Uroi. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.